When search teams first arrived, they believed the area had already been cleared. The truck had been found. The belongings were inside. There were no signs of a struggle. Everything suggested the Jamison family was gone. They weren't. The Jamison family disappeared in October of 2009. Bobby Jamison, his wife, Sherilyn, and their 6-year-old daughter, Madison. They lived in Oklahoma and were preparing to relocate. In the weeks before their disappearance, they'd been searching for land near the Arkansas border, remote areas with few neighbors and little traffic. On October 8th, they were seen together for the last time. Not long after, their truck was discovered in a wooded area near the Kiamichi Mountains. It was locked. Inside were their wallets, their cell phones, a GPS device, and more than $30,000 in cash. There were no signs of damage, no forced entry, no indication of a struggle. It appeared the family had stepped away and never returned. Search efforts began almost immediately. The terrain was difficult. Steep hills, dense forest, limited visibility. Helicopters searched from above. Volunteers moved through the woods on foot. Nothing was found. As days passed, attention shifted away from the search and toward speculation. Some believed the family had staged their disappearance. Others suggested paranoia or mental illness. Friends later spoke about fears the family had expressed, concerns about being watched, followed, or threatened. None of it produced answers. Weeks passed, then months. The truck remained where it had been found, slowly deteriorating in the woods, and the Jamison family remained missing. Nearly 4 years later, in 2013, a group of hunters made an unexpected discovery. Skeletal remains. They were located less than 3 miles from the truck. The remains belonged to 2 adults and a child. Dental records confirmed their identities. They were the Jamisons. Due to the condition of the remains, investigators were unable to determine a clear cause of death. There were no signs of blunt force trauma, no definitive evidence of foul play. Time, weather, and animals had erased much of what might have explained what happened. But the location raised an unavoidable question. Search teams had been nearby before. They had passed through the area. Yet the family had gone unnoticed. They had not traveled far. They had not crossed state lines. They had not vanished into some distant place. They had been close the entire time. What remains most unsettling isn't how the Jamison family died. It's how close they were, how long they remained unseen, how the assumption that they were gone delayed the realization that mattered most. They were never far from where the search began. They were never somewhere else. They weren't outside the search. They were inside the area that had already been dismissed. They were still inside,